I just want to say before the video starts to make sure to hit that subscribe button. I am actually losing subscribers every day as I am transitioning over into Storybook Brawl content. So if you like what you see, if you want to see more, leave a like and hit that subscribe button and enjoy. What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we're going to look at one of my old Storybook Brawl games back from October when I was about 3,600 rating. And I'm going to be playing Merlin for this game, and I did just briefly skip through the VOD to kind of remind myself about kind of what this game is about. But as far as what I've titled it, just in my notes, I know that we really make use of Ogre Princess. That's also going to mean that we really make use of Grimsoul, who is no longer in the game, but we still do some really sweet, amazing things in this game. I'm not sure if I've ever had bigger minions than this game. At least up until this point, this game was my new record for biggest minion. We're going to break into the 5 digits, so I want to show everything about this game, show how we got there, and part of that is using Grimsoul to get there. It's not in our end game comp, but we wind up doing a lot of pretty powerful things to get there. So I'm going to decide to cast a spell because I'm Merlin, and that is always pretty decent when you're Merlin. So just cast a Sugar and Spice on a Shorewood Sure Shot. Sugar and Spice on a Shorewood Sure Shot. Sugar and Spice on a Shorewood Sure Shot. And that's going to get us a 5/3 ranged unit, which should be pretty powerful in this early game. Though it gets sniped, and we wind up trading with Peter Pants. There was a 25% chance for that to happen. 50% chance we attack first, and then if we don't attack first, if my opponent does, they're 50-50 to hit the right unit. I'm going to go ahead and cast another Sugar and Spice and get the Merlin trigger on that Shorewood Sure Shot yet again. Sugar and Spice on a Shorewood Sure Shot. Sugar and Spice on a Shorewood Sure Shot. Okay, I think we're good. We should be good for the rest of the video now to not get too tripped up. Yeah, this is, I mean, one of the reasons that I always really like Merlin is the tempo, the onboard pressure that the hero power provides in the early game. Like right now, we could beat somebody that has 2 Humpty Dumptys. It would be a little bit tricky, but we're certainly going to beat somebody that only has a prized pig. Growing for more experience on skip is certainly something there. I'm going to take another Wizard's Familiar because I already want to be casting spells. Excuse me, that was disgusting. And then I'm just going to roll. I'm not exactly sure what I am looking for. I feel like that Sleeping Princess could have actually been pretty decent. But, a tiny seems fine too. No, I don't like it. Am I going to go for Humpty Dumpty? I don't know. I don't remember a lot of this early game. Yeah, seems like tiny is a totally fine play. Put tiny in the back line so that way it's not dying to like an earthquake or anything like that either. And at some point here, oh, no, I'm going to frontline it. No, I'm going to backline it. Yeah, and I like backlining the Sherwood Sure Shot at some point as well. Lock for Sleeping Princess plus Magic Research. I also think that is fine. You get the trigger as well. For Merlin, you get the triggers on the Wizard's Familiars. And then you're also just getting a 9/9. So all of that is pretty good. Gonna keep starting with the Sherwood Sure Shot, though. And I think that's fine. The Baby Dragon gets a nice little snipe there. And I think we will be able to win this one, even if our unit wasn't ranged. The first shot needed to be a ranged shot. So we get 3 extra gold for this turn. So that's going to be Sleeping Princess, Magic Research, and then a roll. And we'll see what else we can come up with. I don't hate the Vampire, just as some nice little scaling action. Also don't hate Ogre Princess or Lucky. I just really like Ogre Princess, so I knew that, and like I said, I just scrubbed through the VOD before watching this one. Now, is this the order that we'll go with? That's kind of interesting. Yeah, interesting to see like what we're keeping backlined, what we're keeping frontlined. I think that we're still a pretty powerful board, and I also don't hate Ogre Princess in the back, because Ogre Princess in the back means that maybe we've weakened some other things with our front line, and now maybe Ogre Princess can step up and get a sleigh. And I know that Ogre Princess really does step up for us this game and gets us a lot of sleighs. I don't think it makes the final comp, but it is interesting because I have Ogre Princess in and out a lot through this game, as you'll see, which I think is pretty cool, just as far as a dynamic way to play. I just really think Ogre Princess is sweet. It's just one of my favorite additions to the game. I think it really shakes things up, and there we go. She gets her first sleigh. Yeah, I just think it's a cool, unique design, fun, added to the randomness. Some really, really good combat RNG there. Don't want to discredit that. Definitely getting a little bit lucky, and we're 40 health Merlin going pretty deep here, so love to see that. A Brave Princess, I don't know if we love to see that one. I think we could take the spinning wheel, and I actually get the upgrade for Ogre Princess this early. Wow, that's pretty cool. But there's a Spellweaver plus a Genie's Wish here too. And that is really, really tempting as Merlin. I could take the Spellweaver, sell the Princess Peep, and then buy the Genie's Wish. There's not quite a way. Let's see. If I sell Tiny, Baby Dragon, and Peep. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm going to lock for Genie's Wish. Oh, and I get experience. Okay, well, that is huge. That winds up being quite huge there then. And we'll see how greedy I decide to get with these different Ogre Princesses. Like, is Ogre Princess or Tiny better? I don't know. I feel like I could play Ogre Princess over Tiny. I think that's something that I'm going to be debating about in the coming turns, but I'm going to be able to upgrade Ogre Princess and get a 3-drop treasure as Merlin. That is always really good. But of course, you do always need some luck. You need some RNG to win as well. And as I've talked about before in talking about randomness and RNG in Storybook Brawl, that is a fun part of the game. This game I happen to run pretty hot. And also we're playing Merlin, which is the other point I was getting to, is that Merlin's just going to have a lot more RNG-based things going on because the hero power is bringing a lot of randomness. But as our luck continues, we get some really good combat RNG right there. Unfortunately, Ogre Princess is not early enough that it's going to be able to attack, but that's a small price to pay for getting some free XP. And getting some free XP as Ogre Princess also seems quite fantastic. So let's go ahead and upgrade Ogre Princess first before we decide what we're doing with spells and things. And we get Telltale Quiver as a spell option. Sting is also here, but we have 3 ranged units. So I have to feel like I'm going to opt for the Quiver here. And then we've got a Grim Soul in the shop, which I can pick up. So something like pick up the Grim Soul, take the Telltale Quiver, and then probably just cast that spell on the Spellweaver. And all of that seems pretty good. That's going to just get a lot of extra stats because of Merlin. Now I have to decide if I want to roll or if I just want to purchase something. Here we have a Shadow Assassin. We're not really slaying, but we're also not slaying. But I don't think I'm going to want to try to force out Shadow Assassin this game. Ride of the Valkyrie does seem sweet. But yeah, I mean, I think that we're in a pretty dang good spot here. 40 health, a pretty strong board. We're up 2 XP in all of our opponents. Everybody else just hit 4, and we are about to hit 5. Plus, we're getting some free units with this Ogre Princess. We're about to start grabbing some level 5 minions, which is right when the minions start to be really, really good. So Gwen just knighthood on Prince Arthur. That makes a lot of sense. That's always a good one. We're going to be able to do a decent amount of work here with our ranged units, and we're going to get a second sleigh with Ogre Princess. So there you go. I really love Ogre Princess. Let's see what gifts she brings. She's going to give us level 4s, and then we're going to hit level 5. But you know what? Another Grim Soul. That starts to look pretty good. I do have to decide if I want the Sea Terror here. I think I should just be rolling. Okay, I'm going to go for a Sea Terror. I mean, it's hard not to. No, okay, I don't. Okay, I decide that I want Grim Souls, and Grim Souls I find. So I don't need to sell the Vulture here, but I think my thought process was sell the Vulture so that way I could buy the spell. I'm not sure why I sold the Vulture. Might have just missed it. Might have just been so caught off by everything else that was going on. But let's see. I think I might sell this. Maybe I'll sell the Sleeping Princess because, yeah, I really want that plus 14 to Ogre Princess. I feel like that is going to be really helpful. So I'm going to sell the Sleeping Princess. Oh, and then I realize it can go on the Sherwood Sure Shot too. So that actually gives me some pause. Do I want this on the Ogre Princess, or do I just want a huge buff to a backlined range unit? I'm going to go for on the Ogre Princess there, and then I'm going to move Ogre Princess first in the backline so that it is even more likely to get an attack and get a sleigh. And I'm going to be getting 2 sleighs from the upgraded Grim Soul, and then 1 sleigh on the other Grim Soul. So that is going to leave us with at least 3 level 5 units. So there's 1, and we dealt with the donkey. Then here comes the other Grim Soul, and here is 2 treasures now, or not treasures, level 5 units. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. And then my opponent's going to miss there, and I am going to get a 3rd one, and I'm even going to get a 5th one. So I'm going to get 5 cost units, which means that they can't even all make it into my shop. So I've got to figure out one of these to sell so that I can pick up the Wretched Mummy and try to hit a triple for an upgrade. Here's a really interesting decision point because I have to decide if I want to get rid of anything, and I am going to decide to get rid of the Sherwood Sure Shot. Am I? I think I want to try to get rid of that. I'm going to cast the spell first. All kind of interesting. That makes sense, though, to sell the Sherwood Sure Shot before I cast the spell, and then I am going to go ahead and buy another Rotten Apple Tree and then roll just a little bit more and see if we can find anything else sweet. I don't quite find any upgrades, but my board is still looking pretty powerful. I could see losing a combat here, though. We're not really doing too much. We definitely are hitting a little bit of a power spike because of the Rotten Apple Tree, but I would potentially like to get the mummies in there or something kind of quickly, like upgrade that Wizard's Familiar, so that way at least I just have another slot on this board. This is before the change to Mummy as well, so Mummy is typically a pretty good unit when you are power leveling, and if you can get 2 for free off of your Merlin, that is also additionally pretty sweet. We've got a 50-50 chance for Ogre Princess, but she misses. That is totally fine. Let's see how much Spellweaver can clean up here while Rotten Apple Tree brings everything down to 1 health in the back line. Let's take care of their ranged unit. No. Okay, well, this is fine. Then we get to trade with the Shadow Assassin, and we win the combat. So we stay at 40 health. That is a pretty big advantage of playing Merlin, I would definitely say. Then we get our Mummy upgrade, and I see Staff of the Old Toad. Staff of the Old Toad, when you are ahead, is just really powerful. We're going to be grabbing a lot of tier 5s because of Ogre Princess, and then we're going to be able to grab additional tier 5s because of the the other stuff we got going on. The Staff of the Old Toad. I'm realizing now that Spellweaver and Wizard's Familiar will actually never upgrade for us. So I decide to throw away that Spellweaver. I'm debating the spell there because it'll deal 2 damage to everything, so it would actually kill the Ogre Princess. And that is why I decide against it. If it was just enough to kill the Grim Soul, then that would have been fine. But the fact that it's going to kill the Ogre Princess too means that I don't really want anything to do with it. The Rotten Applewood has a little bit of attack now on it. Oh, I find a Baba Yaga. Okay. Well, this is going to be tough to make work in the last second here. I also see a Masquerade Ball, which now I would certainly at least be locking. We're doubling Masquerade Ball with this shop because of Forking Rod, so it would definitely be good. And we don't get to play the full amount of units here, so this is pretty awkward. And even more awkward is that our Ogre Princess gets sniped. So this battle is going to be a little bit awkward. We also didn't shrink anything before our Rotten Applewood started attacking, and that princess in the front row we're not going to be able to deal with. So we're going to take a little bit of damage here, but it's our first damage of the game. We take 12 down to 28. You know what? This is fine. We can find a way to recover. Now we're level 6, and we'll start grabbing level 6 units off of Ogre Princess. So that should be really powerful. I'm deciding what direction I want to go in with the fact that I'm going to get a bunch of level 6 units. I don't know if I want to commit to Good Boy or what I want to do. I think I was debating casting that spell, but it's not a spell that would be doubled, so I decide not to. Healing Potion's good. It heals us for 3 and gets us 3 triggers, so I'm going to sell my Wizard's Familiar and then buy it. And I did not decide to get the Good Boy. So that's kind of interesting there. Going to go for Rotten Applewood, and now I'm able to grab a double of a level 5 treasure. Exploding Mittens and Helm and Dracula Saber are all really good here, but we're going to go for Dracula Saber Mimic. That is an old standby of mine, and I think that's going to be pretty powerful for us. Let's see, anything else we want? Doom Breath could be cool. I'm going to lock for Doom Breath here, actually. That's kind of interesting. I should definitely be putting in my Sea Terror, and instead I just try to buy a Juliet for Econ and wind up playing a Juliet in this combat. So pretty bad, all things considered, but we are at least going to get a few slays from our Grimsoul Baba Yaga Ogre Princess, and it was just against the ghost, so we don't have to worry about taking damage or anything. We get a bunch of level 6 units, and the fact that I get a Hercules and a Good Boy and an Echowood means I'm really not looking at this dragon anymore. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to play here? What could be good? Let's try to figure this out and figure out something powerful. Maybe I want to put the Ogre Princess in the back line so that way it's not getting sniped, because that was really disastrous. Though we did get we got 3 free minions off of that, right? So that was fine. Yeah, I think we only got 3. We got Hercules, Good Boy, and Echowood right here on the battlefield. So still kind of trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. I do think that I want this dragon because I locked it, and I feel like that is a decent way to scam, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Grimsoul and try to make some other stuff happen here. Shoulder Fairies seems like it could be good. This is back when Shoulder Fairies was a 6, I believe, right? But Shoulder Fairies looks like it would be good with Echowood here. Good Boy doesn't look like it would be that strong. And I have to figure out where the Shoulder Fairies is going. I guess now that I'm not playing Good Boy, I'm just going to play Shoulder Fairies and not play the Echowood. A double of Heartwood Elder going to go past that, though. I think that one's called Heartwood Elder. Not totally sure. But we're basically hoping that the dragon with the Baba Yaga buff and from the spells cast on it is going to be good enough to get some kills, so that way my Mimic Chest Draco Saber will start working, but it doesn't actually get any kills, and we wind up falling a little bit behind here. but we are still going to get some stats on the board. That is going to trade with shoulder fairies, and we're going to get some slays on these sheep, and these sheep are also going to grow my team by a considerable amount. So that's pretty good. That's going to attack into me, and then we're going to be able to clear that, and we're going to be able to take that down. But unfortunately, we don't hit the ranged unit, so my opponent is going to win that battle, bring us down to 24, and we only got 2 triggers from the Ogre Princess there. Which is interesting because I would have thought that we had gotten 3 triggers. 2 from the Grim Soul and then 1 from the Ogre Princess attacking. But no matter, we'll see what we can make do with what we found here. And another Echowood, that seems like that is probably going to be the direction that I want to push in. I have to figure out if I want to cast this Luna's Grace. It will only be 1 Luna's Grace at this point, but it could certainly help me figure out Hercules. It could help me pump the good boy. It could help me pump the dragon, which I think is definitely the best route to go for, because if the dragon can get some kills, then everything else is going to get a bunch more kills. I want to put in Gumblegore just to give the dragon even a little bit more attack. My bench is full, so I have to do it like this. And we're going to be supporting Ogre Princess again, just out of convenience sake, because we need somewhere to put the Ogre Princess. So let's put it in the front line here. And the dragon gets to get in there, and it does get a kill, so that's going to grow my team. Hercules gets to trade, and then Grimsoul will not quite trade, but it will pump my Ogre Princess, and my backline is a little bit pumped up too. So I feel like this wasn't that bad. Only taking 10 damage, only taking 10 damage and getting a shop full of level 6s. Unfortunately, these level 6s aren't really what we want, so I'm just going to buy and sell them for econ. I will hang on to the Robin Wood, though. That one seems like it could be good, and it looks like I've decided that Good Boy is the direction that I want to go in. So now I've got to figure out how to make Good Boy work. I still want to get this Hercules treasure as well. But yeah, we're going to try to make Good Boy work as much as we can, and we find an Echowood, so now we get a level 6 treasure doubled. Well, Embiggening Stone and Staff of the Old Toad really isn't a combo, and I really don't want to drop this Staff of the Old Toad either, nor do I want to drop this Dracula Saber, because Dracula Saber Mimic can just buy you some wins. So it's either Wand of Weirding or it's just a skip, and I am going to go for a skip here, and we're going to see what we can make do with. This is definitely a little bit of a weird comp. Haven't quite figured out what we are doing here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and buy Fairy Godmother and slot it in over the Ogre Princess. I do think that that is a mistake, because I do think I should be playing Ogre Princess and just trying to slay while I'm up against the Ghost here, but we'll see how close we get against the Ghost. We're going to be able to take out some of their minions with Fairy Goodmother, and then Hercules is going to get his treasure online. So we're going to get a level 6 treasure again that we will be able to double with the Mimic chest there, assuming that we drop the Dracula Saber or the Staff of the Old Toad. I don't really want to drop the Staff though yet, because Dracula Saber Mimic is really good. So double Singing Sword, the Arc, or Ivory Owl, all of these are really powerful options. Let's see, how close are we to the end game? I think I'm just going to go ahead and take Singing Sword, and then I got to think about, do I want to let Dracula's Saber go, or do I want to let Staff of the Old Toad go? I think I want to let Dracula's Saber go, because Staff of the Old Toad is still really good. We still need some more good units. We still need some more good boys and things. So I'm going to say goodbye to Dracula's Saber here. And now my first good boy, you can see, is 36 attack. So that's going to give plus 36 plus 12 to all of my units. Part of that is because it's being supported by Gumblegore. So I do kind of need that Gumblegore support. I'm going to sell off everything evil except for the Gumblegore and go for a Luna's Grace on the Good Boy, which is going to give it a bunch more stats before I buy another Good Boy and kind of move around my minions and put some more things in there. Then I'm going to cut the Gumblegore. I feel like I'm content with just the Luna's Grace, and then I'm going to lock the shop for another Echowood, but more importantly for the knighthood, and then I'm going to put the Gumblegore back in because I do think I will really appreciate this extra attack on these good boys, their ability to actually kill some things. And we didn't see the attack being relevant there, but it was certainly relevant there. My opponent's going to get a Court Wizard trigger, and now I'm going to get an Ogre Princess Slay yet again. So that is pretty sweet. Gumblegore is not going to get a kill, but really just need to deal with my opponent's ranged units and slowly take them out. And we should be able to do that there and just barely win this combat against the lobby leader. But I'm feeling pretty good now, and importantly, we also get to cast a knighthood on one of these good boys. So the main thing I am debating here right now is, do I want to sell anything before I purchase this spell? Because we do still have this Merlin trigger going on, and the Merlin trigger, if it hits the front row, it's not +2/+1, it's actually +8/+1, because we are giving those minions, maybe we're giving them triple attack, maybe that's how it works, is double attack doubled is actually triple attack, but either way, it's +6/+1. That's a pretty big treasure, especially if it lands on a good boy, because then it's giving those stats everywhere, and if it lands on an upgraded good boy, then it's giving even more stats. So those are the reasons I'm going to go ahead and sell those Gumblegores. Whoa. Okay, that was scary. We're going to cast this knighthood on the upgraded good boy. The trigger's going to go on the fairy godmother. That's fine. We are just going to use our extra gold to roll, see if we can find anything else that would be a sweet addition to this comp, but we are unable to do so. I think I should backline the Ogre Princess as well. Oh, looks like I was considering it. Maybe just didn't have enough time to fully process that. But backlining the Ogre Princess, I think, could have been really sweet because then it would just give it more opportunities to slay. Now, we are going to have some huge frontline minions, and we are going to slay with Ogre Princess at the cost of her health, but we don't really have that much health because our units are getting ashwooded. So our good boys are losing all of their health as they attack, and we are down to 3. And if you can remember, a few turns ago in this same brawl, yeah, there's the Beauty's Influence. Would have been nice if I hung on to the Gumblegore, but I probably should have, just to be able to hang on to Beauty's Influence. But now we've got enough attack. We don't really need more attack value. What we need is more health. And actually, another knighthood could be pretty sweet. But what I was going to say is, if you can remember, a few turns ago, we cast a health potion with a Mimic Chest and a Forking Rod. So we gained 3 health this game, and we would actually be dead right now if we hadn't done that. So after realizing that we are playing up against the ghost here, I'm going to sell my minions, and I'm going to knighthood on this good boy, and then I get the trigger onto the good boy. There is some consideration for backlining Ogre Princess, but if I do so, then it won't get the tripled attack value. So let's see. Yeah, it goes down to 10 attack when it's in the back line. So, let's see. I think I am actually going to go for that, though, just to try to get my good boys to have more of a trigger. Robin Wood's always going to be buffing the Echowood, so that's not super useful. But as soon as these good boys get online, they're going to be throwing a ton of stats across the board, and that is going to be more than powerful enough. And it does look like I'm going to get a slay with Ogre Princess. So great positioning there by me as well. That's going to get us a win and an Ogre Princess. I do think I like this glowing Robin Wood here, just because one of the ways that you start to scale with Good Boy is by taking some ranged units. So Robin Wood seems good. I also think that Court Wizard would be quite fantastic now. I do believe I'm going to go for this spell here. Oh, I see. Yeah, there's not really a way to make this work. What I'm doing is I'm trying to see if there's a way in any possibility where I can have these good boys frontline and have the Robin Woods hit them. In order to do so, I would probably have to backline the Hercules, and I think I realize it's just not worth trying to mess around with. But I do think I like the Flourish on the Echowood. Just give it a little bit more health. That means it survives like a Meteor, I think the spell is. So I go for a Flourish on that, and I get a trigger from Merlin on the Good Boy. So it was a good thing that I sold my unit there first. Then I'm just going to roll a few times. Don't really see anything in the shop that I really need. +3 attack is kind of cute, but we don't need it. We see that our opponent here is playing a bunch of Good Boys as well. Good Boy Court Wizard, and that is definitely a really strong comp, but our comp is really strong as well because all of our Good Boys are upgraded, and we're just doing some trades for right now. We're going to lose half of our board to Court Wizards, but you can see my Robin Wood survives with 1 health, which means that it soaks up a Court Wizard trigger. I'm trying to have everything attack this Echowood. The more things that attack this Echowood, the better chances are that we win, because then we'll get to attack with our Robin Wood, and it actually isn't going to be a big deal. It got up to 1,000 health, 5,000 attack. So Echowood's going to be good. And then Robin Wood gets its trigger thanks to that Ogre Princess. And just as a reminder, this is the same Ogre Princess that we bought on, I think, 3.1 or 3.2. So we're going to upgrade that into Owls and start scaling these Good Boys +4/+4 permanently each turn. And that is really going to get out of hand pretty quickly. I guess I'm debating the Lancelot there in replace of the Ogre Princess, but I don't even think the Lancelot is good. Maybe I was also looking at the Rotten Apple or the Cursed Apple, but this is a sweet spell. So I am going to sell my Godmother yet again and purchase another Good Boy. And now we are running 7 Good Boys. Of course, one's a little evil boy, but yeah, this is looking really, really powerful. Unfortunately, the Robin Wood is still going to hit the Good Boy before it hit, or it's still going to hit the Echowood before it hits the Good Boy. Unfortunately, Robin Wood doesn't like trigger twice. It just does it once and gives +20. Oh, you know what? That's not true, because the Owls happens first, which buffs up Echowood, and then the Robin Wood triggers. So it wound up pumping up the Ogre Princess. You can see, I mean, we're not dealing with that much health, but the health that we do, every bit of health is important, as our one of our units was able to survive there. And there we go, Echowood into the 5 digits. That is the biggest minion that I have, I've ever had, and I was kind of talking and trying to talk about some other things going on in this combat, and I almost missed it. Then we're going to find another Knighthood. We throw that Knighthood on Good Boy. We get another Merlin proc on the Good Boy because, well, we don't really have anywhere else for it to go. I mean, of course, it could go onto any of our other minions, but I am happy that that's where it goes. Thinking about locking for Court Wizard here, just a range unit is going to be so much better than an Ogre Princess. So I think we will get Ogre Princess out of this comp and buy a Court Wizard. And I think any ranged unit is pretty fantastic here and will be pretty good for us. But we have built up quite a fantastic board, plus all of our units are getting +4/+4 permanently each turn, which actually translates into like +12/+4, right? Because of Mimic Singing Swords. So these are just really, really powerful treasures, and 3 upgraded Good Boys is, of course, also pretty fantastic. My opponent's Vampire isn't even going to slay, and my dog is going to stick around. We get some trades there. Now this Good Boy is up to the 1000s. That is a huge Good Boy. We're not going to get to Ogre Princess, so we're not going to be slaying here as we take out the Ghost. And now we are in the finals. I mean, I don't think that's really a finals-worthy spell. I was certainly considering it just to give Hercules a little bit more staying power, but let's go ahead and buy a chicken and then roll and see if we can find any better spell. I do think Friendly Spirit is potentially better than Hercules, but I think that we will just hang on to Hercules because he's done so well for us up until this point. Hugify does seem like it could be good, though. We could sell the chicken, probably sell the Ogre Princess. Oh yeah, I do want to think about Sherwood Sure Shot as well. Sherwood Sure Shot could certainly just be better than Hercules. And Sherwood Sure Shot's also a little bit about how we started this game out. So I could buy Sherwood Sure Shot, I could sell all 3 of my other units, and then I could hugify the bad boy that is at the start of my comp here, and that makes all of my team pretty large and in charge. But I'm going to say no thank you, and I'm going to keep rolling. I take the chicken, and I actually sell the Ogre Princess there. Wow, okay. Then I'm just going to keep selling the Ogre Princess. I don't really know what I'm looking for. Candy Rain, I suppose, buffs the Court Wizard. Oh, wow. And then I find a potion there for the shop. Let me just take my camera off. It died on us at the end of the video, as it sometimes does. But oh well. I'm not going to worry about that now. This video is almost over, and you can see these 300, now 2,000 attack good boys. Yeah, everything's up into the thousands. I don't even think my opponent is going to be able to get past this initial good boy. Maybe they will as our backline clears up their ranged units, and then yeah, good boy's gonna die, and we've got a 32,492 attack Echowood. That's not quite going to be enough to end the game, but that is certainly my biggest unit ever. So pretty sweet stuff. Don't really know what I'm rolling for here other than potentially Pigomorph. Don't think I should cast that because it's just going to be so much better to have a good minion, even though we're not really doing anything with Hercules. Let's see. I think I just want to roll for Pigomorph here. That one could have been okay to cast, because if it was bad, then we would have just sold the unit and bought the Friendly Spirit. But yeah, looks like none of this are we really going to go for. I guess the one thing that we would want would potentially be like a Beauty's Influence on that bad boy. But this is going to be fine. Oh, you know what? It Was All a Dream would actually be sweet. We'd get one last Merlin trigger from the It Was All a Dream, and then we'd even take like Mrs. Claus or something. But obviously we would be looking for Trophy Hunter. There we go. Figured I would fix my camera right before our last battle. And here we go. Good boys going to attack, going to bring all the good boys up to 400. They are going to kill Hercules, which means we get a bonus proc. Then good boys going to trade off, and good boys at 3,000. Then good boy dies, and that is going to bring Echowood up to 36,024. So that is my new record for my largest minion. I believe that is the value on it. A little bit tough to tell. Maybe if you were so inclined, go ahead and do the math. But that's all I got for you here. I think this was just a really powerful game. I've never had this many good boys to this extent. It was just... yeah, definitely some really strong stuff. I'll go ahead and show off the final board there. Really good treasures with the good boys as well. You do kind of want spears with the good boys, and you do kind of want spears with Court Wizard as well, and as well as Echowood. But when you are in those, like the finals of this game, actually was an incredibly long finals. And because of that, we were able to scale our good boys up considerably. I believe that good boy was a 3-3 on this patch, potentially a 2-2. I'm not totally sure on that. But yeah, just being able to give it plus 12 plus 4 a turn every single turn was absolutely fantastic and definitely did a lot of work for us. So that's gonna be it for this one. Yeah, my biggest units ever, and although Ogre Princess did not make the final comp, I think that she was really instrumental in getting us here, helped us get a lot of these treasures, and just helped us get a lot of tempo and really press our advantage. Ogre Princess also was pretty good considering we were able to find that Wish Upon a Star early in the game from the Genie's Wish and get that 2 extra bonus XP. And all of that was also provided thanks to the tempo for Merlin, which is something that I've talked about a lot and why Merlin remains one of my favorite heroes, because the tempo that he provides actually really helps you get into the late game, and then once you're in the late game, that tempo becomes game-swinging buffs onto those good boys, where you can see there were times where my minions were surviving with 5 health, sometimes even with 1 health. But even that 5 health was actually just 1 good boy buff that got multiplied over and over across my different good boys. So all of those buffs definitely add up, and I think I played this game really well, min-maxing a bunch of different advantages at different points in the game, and it was a pretty fun one. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you want to see more sweet Storybook Brawl content in the future. You can also catch me playing live at twitch.tv/NoLucksGiven. That's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. Sugar and spice Sherwood Sure Shot. Sugar and spice Sherwood Sure Shot. Sugar and spice Sherwood Sure Shot. All right, thanks for watching.